Welcome back to our channel. Up this week, we unfortunately get a harsh reminder of what it's really like to have a child post-bone marrow transplant. Welcome back to our channel, Life with the Bridges. For those who don't know us, this is me, Scott. This is my wife, Katie, and this is our son, Super Ted. We are the Bridge family, trying to get the most out of this rat race we all call life. In September 2021, we found our dreams had come true. We were expecting a new addition to the Bridge family. We spent the next 9 months like any normal parents would, preparing our life for the arrival of our new baby boy. On the 11th of May 2022 at 11:11 a.m, we were blessed with the birth of our son. He was perfect. We instantly felt love like we'd never experienced before, and our family of 4 we've always dreamed of was finally complete. We had the most magical first 8 months with Teddy, experienced all that life had to offer. Then, on the 24th of February 2023, our whole world got turned upside down when we got told our 9-month-old son had been diagnosed with high-risk AML Leukaemia.
Do not take life for granted.
We spent the next 6 months, 184 days to be exact, at Great Ormond Street Hospital. He endured 2 rounds of chemotherapy, a full bone marrow transplant, in hope that this would save our son's life. It was important to us that we documented every part of his journey to raise awareness and give childhood cancer the exposure it deserves. After riding the hellish and unpredictable storm, Teddy made it to the end of his treatment and rang that bell. You are joining us now in our next chapter of this journey at home at Bridge HQ, as we try to rebuild our life and continue to spread awareness about what it's like to have a child post-cancer and transplant, in hope that this second chance at life we have been given is forever. So if you're interested in following our journey, don't forget to like our videos, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell as we document our life as the Bridge family. As the morning started here at Bridge HQ, we were preparing for Teddy's first overnight stay with Nanny Sue. Now this sounds delightful, which it is, but with a post-bone marrow transplant child, it almost feels like packing for a round-the-world trip would be easier than packing for an overnight stay with Nanny. With that being said, we are forever grateful just to have one night off together. This level of organisation isn't us being panicky poo parents, it's just trying to make it go as seamless as possible and stress-free for my mum and us.
Going for your first overnight stay with Nanny. No fevers, be a good boy, sleep well, eat lots, no sick, no hospital. Small ask, Mummy and Daddy are going to the races. That is baby gone. Kate has taken the baby to my mum's, and we are attempting our first overnight stay at Nanny's since we got discharged. As myself and Katie are going to the races, Katie decided to book this as a surprise for me, which is absolutely lovely. And we're actually going to meet one of our fellow oncology parents, which we've never met before, which we know through social media, which would be absolutely lovely. Yeah, and hopefully have a fantastic day. There's 2 sets of parents that have been through a hell of a lot with their sons, and funnily enough, they're both called Teddy, which is incredible. Both had AML Leukaemia. So yeah, fingers crossed for nothing to go wrong. No fevers, no hospital, nothing like that. Just he goes down for a night and we get an overnight stay, and we go to the races and win lots of money. For now, I've got half an hour to get ready, as the first race is in an hour and a half. Go! Hey! Here we are at Lingfield Races, and we are waiting for our friends that we don't know yet. And yeah, looking forward to it. The weather is absolutely blinding, and it's the last meet of the year, so should be a good day. Hopefully we win some money, and if not, have a few beers, which is the first time in a long time that myself and Katie are drinking, which is going to be a horrendous hangover tomorrow, and I'm already not looking forward to it, but that's tomorrow's problem. Wow. Look at that for a run. Doesn't get much better than that.
On the 90th, I hope you're enjoying your day with us here at Lingfield Park.
Hello!
Cash money! So I've decided I'm going to walk straight up to the bookies and just bet on a horse. And there's one that said Perfect T. It's got to go on. Let's hope it wins. Come on, a Perfect T. Well, Perfect Ted didn't win. On to the next one. I think I've gone for Warren Hill. We shall see. Still running off my old winnings, so... And the sun is shining and Ted's still okay, so happy days. After an absolute blinding day here at the races, we're about to head back up to the hotel room. Teddy's been absolutely fine. A little bit funny with his eating, but he's all going well. We've had a fantastic day here. We've actually in positive equity after a day of racing, which is always a plus. But we are heading to an Indian takeaway tonight with the people we've met up today, other oncology parents, which are also just as lovely. So shout out to you, Sarah and Kurt. And yeah, we are just enjoying some time being parents and being away in this lovely, lovely setting. So yeah, feeling very, very grateful. Time for an Indian meal out. Look at this for some settings. Back to the hotel room, just come back to have a quick freshen up, and then we're off out for a lovely curry. But it's been a fantastic, fantastic day so far. And it's really, really nice just to kind of have conversation with oncology parents that have been through the same thing, because they've got the same, but also different perspectives in terms of how to deal with things pre and post-transplant. The couple that we've met up with, Sarah and Kirk, they've got a son called Teddy who's been through the same thing. They have reached that 12-month milestone, and so now they have obviously been through the 12 months post-transplant, and they know the stresses and trials and tribulations of what it's like to be post-transplant. They're giving us some really, really handy tips of like how to deal with things, and also to know that these things that we're going through as a parents, as a relationship, as a marriage, as just like caring for Teddy, are potentially normal and not to worry. And our day-to-day life is just absolutely hectic at the minute with just apprehension and worry, and they've been through the same thing. And so to hear that parents that actually have been in our situation is just amazing. So this kind of night away is invaluable for us, because we need to hear it, because we have support from you guys as a community, as parents, friends and family that we have around us. But speaking to people that have been in our situation and been through that same thing with the same sort of child of the same age is worth its weight in gold. So yeah, amazing. But for now, just going to have a quick shower and now off for a curry.
With a beautiful but frosty start to the morning and a slightly fuzzy head from the night before, there was only one place that was going to get us back on the straight and narrow. And no, it's not McDonald's. That's later.
We are up nice and early and we are heading to the spa. Kate should be somewhere, slowly following as always. Yeah, looking forward to it. I haven't been to the spa for years. To the spa. Well, that was got to be the most average spa ever. It was full of kids and old people, and the most unrelaxing experience we've ever had. So nice little 2-minute dip in the swimming pool. And I also set the steam room alarm off, because I went to the steam room, there was no steam in it, so I pressed the button and it turns out it's the emergency alarm. Fun had by all. Now I have to go and shower and change and find some breakfast.
That is us done here at the races. What a lovely overnight stay. And still with some winnings in our pocket, which is rare. And unrelaxing spa experience. But we are now off to McDonald's, because we've got two relatively hanging parents that haven't drunk in a while, and it's the first hangover in a while, so only call to one thing, and that's a McDonald's.
Dirty burger.
So we're on our way. Back with this crazy boy. It's good to be back, Ted. Did you have a nice time at Nanny's? You bounced, Pacho. Did you have a good time at Nanny's? You a good boy? I heard you were. Perfect Sunday, chilling with you on the sofa. So it is Monday morning, the start of a new week here, and the apprehension is building. I'm just at the gym. It is 5 to 5 in the morning, and this week's the start of the next testing few weeks, purely because tomorrow we head back up to Gosh for our first overnight stay, and that is the first overnight stay we've had since being discharged, which is hugely triggering. Usually we get up there and back in a day, and we end up back at home by the evening, but
This one we know we're staying overnight. It's for the impedance study to check for his reflux, which is where the tube goes down his nose and his throat and has to sit there for 24 hours so they can study if acid is travelling up his throat and causing his cough. So that's tomorrow. A week from tomorrow would be his first bone marrow aspiration. We check to see if he's clear of cancer in the bone marrow. Within 8 days, we will have all of that done, hopefully, providing it all goes well, because obviously his BMA last time got cancelled because of his cough and his snotty nose and stuff like that. So we need this to happen because of his chimerisms dropping. I just got this gut feeling. If I take it from how he looks and presents, I don't believe he's relapsed. But if I take it from the facts and the numbers that are shifting, it doesn't look good. And if that is the case, I can only imagine our life will turn on a sixpence again. From the 6th of December, roughly takes about a week to get a BMA result back, which will take you to around about mid-December, which is if he has relapsed. I would only imagine that if we do have an option, they'll want to start pretty imminently, which will mean the 2023 Christmas will be spent in Gosh. But that hasn't happened yet. So stick with us, guys, because this is when we need your support, and we hope that we just get nothing but good results over the next week and a half. And yeah, it's petrifying, absolutely petrifying. But life doesn't stop. We still have to get up and do our normal routine and our life of getting up at 4 a.m. and come down here to train my clients, because you can't just be a quivering wreck the whole time and fear the unknown. You've just got to deal with it. You don't have a choice. But positive mental attitude. It is Monday and we are going to worry about things as they present themselves. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Let's start this Monday morning.
These are our dairy-free, soya-free, everything yogurts. Because that's the diet we've got him on, because we believe that's slightly better for his cough. But as of tomorrow, we'll find out a little bit more once we do this impedance study and find out whether it is reflux or not.
Another day, another pair of sicky clothes. Ted's just thrown up everywhere.
This little bubby's not a very happy bunny. He's just thrown up everywhere. It could be a combination of things, to be honest, because we've stopped 2 of his anti-sicknesses in preparation for his procedure tomorrow. We've also stopped a medicine which helps with reflux called lansoprazole. That's in preparation for his procedure tomorrow as well. So the reduction of meds could have made him sick, but I also gave him some blueberry extract powder in water just to help his immune system, his gut health, for the first time in a while, just thinking I was doing the right thing. That was at 10 o'clock and he's just been sick at 2 o'clock, so but either way he's not very happy, and he threw up a hell of a load, including some meds. Oh, I thought he was gagging again then. Yeah, not good. What can I do for you, Bubby? She's thrown up again. Just gagged again. I think we're going to have to take him into our local. His temperature's still fine, but something's not right. He's super lethargic. Doesn't want any milk or water or anything. We're heading to the local to get him checked. Something's not right, is it, mate? We'll get you sorted. So we have decided to bring Teddy in. We've just rushed him in now. Kate's taking him up and I'm got all the goods in the pram. But yeah, something's not right. So we need to go and get it checked. So I pray this isn't the start of what we don't want it to be.
Within an hour of being in hospital, Teddy had spiked a fever and was breathing like a train. Teddy was requiring oxygen as his heart rate was so high and his oxygen sats were so low. This was so triggering. The requiring of oxygen. The fast breathing rate. We had seen all of these signs before Teddy got diagnosed. 220 beats per minute is a seriously dangerous heart rate. Due to Teddy being sick constantly, he should have received an emergency dose of hydrocortisone to stop his body going into adrenaline crisis. He didn't receive this quick enough, despite telling the doctors over and over again. Finally, after way too long, they took his blood cultures to check for infections in his blood, gave him some paracetamol to get the fever under control, and finally gave him his hydrocortisone.
It's all going bad to worse, and I tell you what, this place is haunted. In the same jacket, same ward,
as when Teddy was diagnosed, and he is breathing like a train. Our thermometer says 38.5 because he's just spiked a fever, and theirs is saying 36.7. Like, it's just ridiculous. He is breathing so quickly, absolutely mental. Like, they're in no rush to do anything. He's now spiked a fever, and he should be having paracetamol and his 2 direct antibiotics, but we're still waiting for all of them. All we get told is that we're waiting for a doctor to prescribe them, and the poor boy is struggling, and it's just absolute nightmare, mate. I tell you, this feeling is way too familiar. Way too familiar. But I'm just off to the car to get him some milk, because apparently we can try milk, and I'm pretty sure he's just going to throw it straight up because his heart rate's like over 200 beats a minute. But he hasn't drunk anything since midday, so, and now he's spiked a fever. It means that we're in 48 hours, which is means the impedance study at Gosh is now off the cards. So that won't get done, but we shall see. We've had paracetamol put in, we've now got fluids, still waiting on antibiotics. Had the emergency hydrocortisone put in. But yeah, it looks like we're here for 48 hours. And he's on oxygen because his sats are like 88.
With Teddy seeming to have tolerated his last feed, it was time to try and give him his medication in hope that he doesn't throw it back up. But with Teddy still requiring oxygen going into the night, we had nasal cannulas fitted so that oxygen went directly into his airways. Sitting back, watching Kate put Teddy down to sleep in the night in the hospital absolutely destroyed me. All of the hospital emotions came rushing back, and the only question I had in my head was why? Why us? Why me? Why him? Just why? But as always, there was no answers. Just had to take it on the chin and keep moving forward.
It's 9 o'clock and I'm just leaving to go home. As always, you can only have one parent that stays overnight. I've got a couple of clients tomorrow morning as well, so he is asleep and in a lot better condition than when he first got there. He was, obviously we went in because he was throwing up, and then it was just a bit of a shit show, to be honest with you. Like, their temperature thermometer was reading 36.7 and ours was reading 38.5, and so one was obviously telling normal, their one, and our one was telling he was having an absolute screaming temperature, and his heart rate was at 220 beats a minute, and it's just like absolute madness. But I don't know, all the blood culture had been taken off. He's had 2 levels of glucose because his blood sugars were low. The paracetamol has been given. The 2 antibiotics have been given and started. He's back on normal meds that we've been usually giving. And also we've given him a bit of milk and he's gone down to bed. So with fingers crossed, nothing bad comes back in these cultures. But then they said because their cultures were taken late, they won't be in the lab or sorted until this morning. So yeah, our 48 hours starts from tomorrow morning rather than when we were admitted at 5 o'clock, which is ridiculous. Just doesn't help with life and work and my business and everything. But another day in the life of a cancer parent and patient, bless him. But he did a couple of baby sharks before we left and before he went down, so that put a huge smile on our face. And it's just gutting to leave them both again, to be honest. It's just, I thought we'd left that sort of stuff behind and it was a thing of the past, but clearly not. But now I'm on a one-way ticket to go home because my poor little dog at home has probably got her legs crossed and needs to go out to the toilet. So time to head home. Your baby brother's not very well, but hopefully he's under control, darling. Finally home, and just feel a bit wounded, to be completely honest with you. Like, it's just not nice having to leave him there with Kate, and Kate staying in the hospital on her own, and it doesn't end. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It doesn't end at the bell. Like, the journey after the bell is nothing but a chance, you know. Nothing's guaranteed, nothing is for sure or set in stone. Like, we don't know whether this is the start of relapse. We don't know whether he's just got an infection or a bug, or God knows, just don't know. Like, there's so many unanswered questions as always, and it's a bit gutting that the impedance study that we were meant to be having has now been cancelled, because that was our ticket to find out why he's always had this cough, or at least a stepping stone towards why he's always had this cough. And it's just not fair. It really isn't, but it's fight or flight mode again now. We've got no choice but to fight, and He's just once again been absolutely incredible. To see him breathe and present how he did earlier was just absolutely devastating. You know, you just got to kind of put your big boy pants on and keep marching forward, you know. So that's what we will continue to do. We're going to try not to worry until we get some news and we find out a little bit more information. But with hospitals, no news is good news. If the cultures take a while to come back, it's usually better news. If they come back pretty quick, then it's not good news. So, so many unknowns, but I guess we just wait. But for now, I'm going to get my head down because I'm going to get up and do my clients, which sounds crazy for me to even think about working tomorrow morning. But unfortunately, the realistic thing is, this is our life. Like, this is our life now, and we've got to kind of try and keep things as normal as possible. And if I can get up and do my clients and then head to the hospital after, it factors into our life. So that is what I'll have to do, and bills need to be paid still, and I don't want to let down my clients. So unless anything gets worse or unless anything gets more severe, then obviously I would 100% cancel and things will change. But until then, we're just waiting for answers. Life moves on, which is gutting. Time to get my head down. Tomorrow's a new day. Come on down. Me and you tonight, Pooch. There's no I in team, is there, Pooch? But there is in family. No one gets left behind in the Bridge family. We're all together as one. Daddy will be with you tonight, and Mummy will be with you tomorrow. Good night, darling. So I've just finished my clients, heading to hospital now, and I'm hugely apprehensive. I heard from Kate this morning, apparently he slept all the way through, hasn't spiked any fevers or been sick, but this, as always, antibiotic has set his guts alight, and he is just, excuse my French, pooing everywhere, which is not great. Like, because this is last time exactly how he got dehydrated and nearly ended up in ICU. Because of the fact that he poos so much, he just loses all of his essentials like glucose, potassium, sodium levels, and they need correcting and blah, 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 blah. So Kate's not very happy. The fact that he hasn't spiked any fevers, she wants him off antibiotics already, but I feel like we need to give him at least 24 hours just in case there is a line infection or anything. So, stressful day coming up, not where we saw ourselves, but yeah, I'm just about to head onto a main road, so I'm going to head back. But next stop, Pembury Hospital. I'm looking forward to seeing our boy. Back at Pembury with a boot full of stuff, toys, mat, and nappies. Let's see what today brings.
Just for the record, this is how Kate's morning started, courtesy of Teddy.
Good morning, gorgeous boy. Still a bit tired. Got your parrot, Teds? Where's your parrot?
It was obvious Teddy wasn't feeling very well, but as parents we just have to do everything in our power to make it a little bit better if we can for him.
We are basically waiting for the ward round, for the doctors and consultants to come round and see us, and just kind of see where they think he should be or how he's doing, or get better any results, which is always a nerve-wracking experience, but it should be happening anywhere between 9:30 and 11, and it's now 10:42, so hopefully it should be happening imminently, so fingers crossed. Little update, so we've just had ward round, and his infection markers are slightly raised. He's got a crackle on the chest, so they reckon he's got a viral infection on top of everything else that's going on. But it's just a waiting game now. We've just got to basically sit it out and wait for any cultures to come back, which may present why he spiked a fever. If not, the antibiotics will hopefully do their thing. And yeah, subject to all being well, it is now Tuesday. We should be able to be discharged on Thursday morning, because that'll be 48 hours. If everything stays the same, he's drinking milk fine, he hasn't been sick, he hasn't spiked any fevers as of yet. So it all seems to be going in the right direction, but we're just gonna see how it all goes from here. Oh, a bit of fresh air. So I left Willow this morning at 7 AM at home to shoot to hospital after my client, and it is now 1 o'clock. And I've had to shoot back because I'm staying in the hospital with Teddy tonight. It just makes sense for me to break up the day, otherwise I'm in hospital for a long stint. So I've quickly driven home from hospital to give her a quick walk and check she's all right, which she is, which is amazing. And yeah, just get a bit of fresh air and kind of keep my head nice and level. The fresh air is needed, I tell you. That hospital room is just so stuffy and it's just 4 small walls. Yeah, it's crazy. But as I said yesterday, there's no I in team, but there's an I in family. And it takes this, because we are only 25 minutes away from the hospital, it means that we can come home and walk her and run our normal life. Back to take her for a walk, and then I'm shooting straight back to the hospital. And as I said, I'll be staying overnight with Teddy tonight and praying for no fevers or any problems. I'm not going to lie, my anxiety about staying in a hospital overnight again is heightened, to say the least, just because I haven't done it in such a long time, and there's all the fear of the unknown about if he's going to be sick, is he going to spike a fever, all the old kind of things that make me anxious are just rearing their heads again. But he is the one that's going through this stuff, so therefore I have to be strong for him and park my anxiety and park my fears and just face them head on. Although it is so lovely to get out and have this fresh air, I'm struggling really, because I just find the anxiety of staying in a hospital just overrides my whole day, and it just swarms and floods my emotions in terms of all I can think about is just the impending night I've got to stay overnight and the if, buts and maybes, which I always say to myself, don't worry until something presents itself. But it's easier said than done when you're just kind of scarred from the 6 months that we've been through, and you'd think things like this get easier, but unfortunately for me they don't. Kate always seems pretty faultless and bulletproof in situations like this, but it's only fair that we share this half and half, because she needs her downtime as well, and I can't imagine she got too much rest last night with hourly observations because of his oxygen sats. So it can't be a one-man band. One person can't take the hit of all the nights. It's got to be equal if we can, and we can. So despite all the fears and anxiety that I'm going through in terms of what could happen tonight, it's time for me to face my fears and get involved, so it's fair and we both stay level-headed, rather than one person be a hero about the situation. So it sounds quite extreme, just like me saying about levels of anxiety and fearing staying in a hospital, but unfortunately it's real. It is, and I wish it wasn't. I wish I didn't mind doing it, and I wish I kind of did it effortlessly, but unfortunately I don't. And I can only imagine it's just a bit of PTSD from what we've been through. But I'm sure, as in the past, I've found that the anxiety of staying in the hospital is always a lot worse than actually the staying in the hospital. Once you're there, you actually feel comfortable and at home because Teddy is there and nothing else matters. Something else to add on top of that is, you would think that now we're at the other side and we've experienced it all for 6 months and we have been in a lot worse situations through our journey with Ted than we are now, it would all get easier and just a couple of nights in your local hospital would be a drop in the ocean. When actually, in some regards, I think it's harder, purely because when you are in hospital, your fight or flight levels are so high, so therefore your barriers to emotion and stuff like that are so high, and so you end up just kind of taking the brunt and batting them off. Whereas we've been home and we've seen what normal life could look like. We've had the luxuries of seeing our friends and family. We're home with Willow, where we all should be. And so I feel when something goes wrong, or you do have to do these overnight stays in the hospital, because we've been home, our barriers have slowly dropped and we've kind of got a little taste for that normality again. So then as soon as you get caught off guard and something bad happens and you do get admitted to hospital, you're not ready for it, and so the emotions catch you off guard, and then all of a sudden they swamp and swallow you up. And I think that's what I'm kind of feeling now, and that's okay. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself and allowing myself to feel these things, but it's important to share this with you guys, that we aren't bulletproof and we do have these pretty severe emotions that we constantly go through. And yeah, it's okay to feel the way that I do. It's just not nice. Nobody likes feeling that anxiety. Nobody likes feeling unstable, as you will. I don't mean unstable as in about to have a meltdown, but more just, when you feel solid and grounded and in normal day-to-day life. And right now I don't really feel like that. I just feel worried. I just feel scared for Teddy and what the outcome's going to be, and that's normal. So none of us are superhuman. We're no stronger than anybody else. We've just been through a tough journey. And the journey's far from over. So be kind to yourself, because day by day, hopefully we'll get stronger and be able to deal with these situations a little bit better. One of my main mottos in life is a problem shared is a problem halved. And as much as we are out here to raise awareness for childhood cancer and help future parents on their journey, knowing that people like us have been through the journey and can spread that positivity, it's just as good for us as well. You guys are such an important part of our life now, being our community. Me sharing this with you is my problem's halved, you know, so A, if it can help out others, then my job is done. But B, I feel like it helps me. You guys are my ears, and me sharing my raw emotions and the truth of what it's like to have a child post-cancer and bone marrow transplant is really tough. It is really, really tough, and I'm certainly not hiding that in the slightest. This is very real, and it's emotion that we deal with on a minute by minute, hour by hour and day by day basis. So anybody else out there that's struggling, know that you're not alone. Know that it's okay to feel not 100% all the time. But my advice would be to share your emotions with anyone you feel comfortable with, because if you get it off your chest, it certainly takes the weight off your back and hopefully may help you find a little bit of clarity in your day or in that moment. So once again, I've said it so many times now, we thank you as our community that follow our journey, and Teddy's kind of road to recovery means the world. And evidently, I know I could get messages all the time about people saying that they've watched our videos and are going through similar journeys, and just by watching somebody else has gone through the journey, it helps know that they're not alone. So it means the world to me to know that we are helping other people, and our community is strong. So thanks again.
This journey doesn't end here. Sometimes the paths are lonely, sometimes the paths are hard, but I've always said you need to weather the storm before you reach your destination. And remember, sun always follows darkness, and tough times don't last forever.
Going for some fresh air, get this little boy out of these four walls for half hour, get us out for half hour. It's hot and stuffy in that room.
We took Teddy to a garden centre right next to the hospital just for a change of scenery before we get stuck in a hospital room for another night.
And there we have it. Kate's gone home. It's 5 to 6. Our little boy's down. Just praying for a good night with him. His oxygen sats at low, 88. So he's going to need oxygen again. Hopefully that's all he needs.
It was back to my good old hospital routine of minimal sleep and lots of coffee.
Oh my God. Please tell me that you guys just heard that. I'm currently on my 4th pair of pyjamas with him, and I have one nappy left until Kate gets there. I need to change them quick. Good morning, my boy. That was a rocky night, wasn't it?
Book.
Want to read a book? Should we have some milk first?
Yeah.
Book first. Hey, okay, come on then, let's go. Today's a new day. Right, it is now 7:15. Time to do 7 o'clock meds. You're looking good, mate. Still no sickness or fevers so far. So fingers crossed, just shitting through the eye of a needle, unfortunately. But that's antibiotics for you. Right, enough waffling, time for meds. This magpie having a laugh. Anyone that's followed our story from the start knows that I have a thing with magpies since the day of diagnosis. A magpie come and basically flew up to my car and just wouldn't leave my car alone. It's like the whole one for sorrow thing. We're getting to the end of our tether in here, and it's only 7:30. This can only cause for a bubble storm. I mean, that wasn't as effective. Let's try that again. Bubble storm. Really? Right, now we're up. Can only cause for
a bubble storm. Woo! Wow, look at all the bubbles, Teds! These hospitals are stuffy. Oh, give me some of that fresh air. Gee whiz. Smells like pure nappies in here. Funny enough, because Teddy's exhausted us of all of his nappies. He's doing okay. Still a little bit lethargic, still a little bit grizzly. Kate's on her way now. I'm gonna head out and grab some nappies and wipes and oat milk and just get out of this room, because 12 hours on your own is enough. Trust me. And it sounds like we're being a bit of a wimp, but when you've done all night and haven't had much sleep, you just want to see a change of scenery. So you've just been to Tesco's, do a quick run because we are out of nappies, out of wipes, because of the amount that Teddy is exiting from his bottom. So just went and got a restock and a bit of breakfast for us. And yeah, we carry on just sitting, waiting for results, waiting for cultures, blah, 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 blah. But my sister's come up to kind of bring a new face to the ward, which is lovely because Teddy absolutely loves her. So it's nice to just kind of get that fresh face on the ward and fresh ideas to play and all the rest of it. So, but today is a new day. Fortunately, today has just been one of the most draining days ever. Like, we're just sick of these four walls, and Teddy has just been in the most indecisive mood. He's not 100%, he's something's not right, but we're in for another night tonight. Kate's staying because I did last night, and I'm going to pick up the dog from where she's been sat all day and take her home and have some dinner and go to bed. Every minute has felt like an hour today because we're just waiting. Antibiotics, wait. Antibiotics, wait. It's just all it is. I'm waiting for these cultures and there's no results, nothing's coming through. It's just mind-numbingly boring. Hopefully we're on track tomorrow to be discharged, subject to this little one being well enough to. Now this is a talent, stacking blocks on a downward bed. I knew my son was a genius. Hey, well done. Oh, what a horrendous last 15-20 minutes. They've waited all day whilst we've been sitting in the ward to wait for 5 o'clock to do all his swabs. A nose swab, throat swab, groin swab, under armpit swab, and an NPA, which is the nasal suction. And he hates every single one of them, and it's just sent him into just the most hysterical cries, and he was choking and everything like that. Why wait just before he's going to go to bed to do shit like that? It really drives me up the wall. I hate seeing him like that. I really struggle. Finally leaving the hospital. As I said, I've got to go and pick up Willow, which is about half an hour away, then head home and do all his washing. So we got through 5 pairs of trousers with leaky nappies today. You know, you've reached your tolerance level in a day in the hospital. I am there today, unfortunately, which is why it's so crucial and so important that we have 2 of us battling this journey. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Praying for being able to be discharged and all head home, subject to him being okay. Morning. It is about 4:30. I'm up and having my morning coffee, getting up to do my busy morning of clients this morning. And this is getting the realistic truth of, even though we are going through a tough time with Teddy at hospital at the minute, when you are discharged after ringing that bell, life can't stop. You have to just park all your feelings and your emotions that you're going through and know that I've got to get back down that gym this morning and go and earn some money and live my normal day-to-day life as much as we can. So hopefully finishing by around about 9:30 and then driving straight to the hospital to hopefully, with good news, that we'll be able to be discharged and all come home together, because that was the plan, provided nothing went wrong. I had received a message from Kate during the night saying that he'd been drinking quite a bit of milk, was holding his oxygen sats at around about 93 on his own and not requiring oxygen, which was different to last night. One of the big problems we're going through with Teddy is his eating. Like, he's just I think today we're going to have to go through tube feeding him again with a specific milk that we were given on discharge, which has got more nutrients than the oat milk that he's on. It's called Neocate. So I think we're just going to give him a maintenance dose of Neocate throughout the day just to make sure we're giving him some sort of nutrients. It's probably one of the reasons why he's lethargic and just exhausted and grumpy, because he's starving. Like, if you put it into perspective of what I would feel like if I had this potential virus infection that they think he's got, plus you just give me oat milk all day, my body would start to shut down because it's got no nutrients in it whatsoever. So that's exactly probably what he's doing. They weighed him on day 1 of us going into hospital and he was 8.6 kilograms and he was 9.2 last time we'd seen him. And you can feel him when you cuddle him, you can feel his hips, you can feel his spine. It's awful. So we have been holding off changing anything purely because we're waiting for this reflux test, and every time we change something it usually ends in his stomach not boding well with it, and then he throws up or ends up giving him diarrhea. But we need to get nutrients in him. We need that boy to put on some weight, and we need to give him some sort of substance. He won't eat anything because there's something wrong with his mouth. He keeps saying mouth and putting his finger in his mouth. So we've got the tube there. So to be able to put some sort of nutrients in him slowly, like 10-20 mils to start with, and then kind of increase it from there, is the way forward, I think, today. So we'll be trying that, and then fingers crossed we can actually get some weight on this boy, and also get this impedance study booked in for hopefully next week when we go up for his bone marrow aspiration. But that's today's plan. For now, I'm going to go and get my clients done so I can head back to the hospital in hope that we all return home.
We are back in the hospital and we have just been discharged. We have just sorted out his nasal cannulas and put a new sticker on his tube. We're ready to pack up this room and finally go home after over 48 hours worth of admittance. But his cultures came back negative, which is amazing. And next stop, we need to get this impedance study booked and the BMA sorted, and get this boy home and try and put some food in him. Let's go home to our dog. To Bridge HQ! Gonna go home and see Willow. Bye, Pembury. We hope we don't see you in a while. We're off. Finally. Get us back to Bridge HQ. Who's that, Ted? Willow.
We're back.
Good to be home. Yes, you're right. We are looking after your auntie's cat. It's a cat! Straight home. We're on our 3rd trip up the stairs. I think someone's feeling a bit better. Hey, mate. One more stairs. But no stopping for baby shark, okay? This is your training regime. All back. Fire lit. We've actually just had a phone call from Gosh confirming that his impedance study is booked for next Tuesday, which is going to be an overnight stay, and what we've just missed by being in our local, and his BMA will be going ahead on Wednesday, so we'll be going up for a night and a half next week, which will determine our fate going forward. So, but it's good that we've got the test booked in, and hopefully we can it's the start of getting to the bottom of whether Teddy's okay or not, and try and finally sort out this cough.
Gorgeous boy.
Where's your brush? Just brushing your hair, mate. Give me 2 seconds.
Like a broken record.
You want your dummy? Is that what that is? There's your nang.
Oh, that face is going all off now.
Look at that hair, Dee.
Woo!
Welcome home, Cubby. I'm proud of you as always. Good night, my boy.
That just about brings another video to a close. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and remember, live for today, as tomorrow is never promised.